Book review: The Perfect Divorce by Jeneva Rose. Jeneva Rose's The Perfect Divorce picks up the tangled threads left dangling in her previous bestseller, The Perfect Marriage, and weaves them into an equally gripping, if not more complex, web of deceit, betrayal, and murder. The sequel plunges readers once again into the life of Sarah Morgan 11 years after she defended her husband Adam against charges of killing his mistress, while the marriage revolved around the intricacies of a seemingly perfect marriage marred by infidelity and murder. The Perfect Divorce explores the unraveling of a second marriage and the resurgence of past secrets, proving that some crimes and some personalities refuse to stay buried. Plot summary: 11 years have passed since Sarah Morgan, a sharp and successful attorney, defended her then-husband Adam against the charge of murdering his mistress Kelly Summers. Despite Sarah's efforts, Adam was convicted and eventually executed. Now Sarah has moved on, married Bob Miller, and they shared a young daughter named Summer. She has also transitioned her career to running a foundation that aids former felons in reintegrating into society. Sarah believes she has finally achieved the peaceful life she always desired until she discovers Bob's infidelity. Unwilling to forgive another betrayal, Sarah promptly files for divorce. However, their already acrimonious separation takes a dramatic turn when new DNA evidence surfaces in Kelly Summers' murder case. This evidence implicates Ryan Stevens, the former sheriff involved in the original investigation, forcing the police to reopen the long case and thrusting Sarah back into the unwelcome spotlight. Former Deputy Marcus Hudson, now a sheriff, is determined to uncover the truth behind Kelly's murder. He relentlessly pursues the reopened investigation, his suspicions falling on various individuals connected to the original case, including Sarah. The intense scrutiny surrounding Adam's case complicates Sarah's already messy divorce from Bob, as each begins to suspect the other of having related to both the past and present. The situation escalates further when Stacy Howard, the woman Bob had an affair with, mysteriously disappears. Bob immediately accuses Sarah of involvement, fearing she is retaliating against him and trying to gain an advantage in their increasingly bitter custody battle for Summer. A tense and dangerous game of cat and mouse ensues between Sarah and Bob, each threatening to expose the other's dark secrets. As Sheriff Hudson delves deeper into the reopened murder investigation and the disappearance of Stacy, a complex web of deceit, manipulation, and long-buried secrets begins to unravel. The investigation reveals connections between the past and present, suggesting that the truth about Kelly's murder is far more complicated and sinister than initially believed. The narrative unfolds through multiple perspectives, including Sarah and Bob, allowing readers glimpses into their motivations and hidden agendas. Flashbacks to the original murder investigation intertwine with the present-day events, gradually revealing the intricate layers of lies and betrayals that have shaped the lives of the characters. As the perfect facade of Sarah's new life crumbles, her cunning and ruthlessness resurface. She expertly navigates the legal complexities, her divorce and the reopened murder investigation, often turning the tables on those who suspect her. Bob, initially appearing as merely a cheating husband, reveals his own manipulative tendencies and hidden connections to the unfolding mysteries. The disappearance of Stacy becomes a central point of contention, with both Sarah and Bob potentially implicated. The police investigation uncovers Stacy's own secrets and connections, further muddying the waters and raising questions about her fate and the involvement of others. The climax of the novel brings shocking revelations about the true events surrounding Kelly Summers' murder and Stacy's disappearance. Twists and turns abound as the carefully constructed lies exposed, revealing the unexpected perpetrators and the motives behind their actions. The perfect divorce that Sarah sought becomes a battleground for survival where the stakes are life and death. Ultimately, the novel explores the themes of betrayal, revenge, and the destructive power of secrets. It delves into the complexities of human relationships and the lengths people will go to protect themselves and their desires. The ending leaves the reader questioning whether anyone can truly achieve a perfect divorce when the past casts such a long and dark shadow over the present. A second chance at a fractured life. At the outset of the novel, Sarah Morgan has seemingly moved on. She's no longer the high-powered defense attorney, having traded the courtroom for a quieter life, running a foundation dedicated to helping former felons reintegrate into society. She's remarried to Bob Miller, a man who, on the surface, appears to be the antithesis of her first husband. They have the daughter, Summer, and Sarah has finally found a semblance of the life she always craved. However, Rose quickly dismantles this facade of domestic bliss. The catalyst for the narrative's explosive trajectory is Bob's infidelity. Sarah, a woman who clearly has low tolerance for betrayal, immediately files for divorce. This sets in motion a chain of events that not only threatens to destroy her second marriage, but also drags her back into the murk of her past. Simultaneously, new DNA evidence emerges in the case again. Adam leading the police to reopen the investigation into the murder of Kelly Summers. This unexpected development throws Sarah back into the spotlight, forcing her to confront the lingering doubts and unanswered questions that have haunted her for over a decade. Echoes of the past, shadows of the present. Rose masterfully interweaves the present-day drama of Sarah's impending divorce with the re-examination of the past murder case. The reopening of Adam's case is not merely a plot device. It serves to highlight the cyclical nature of Sarah's life, her tendency to be surrounded by suspicion and violence, and the enduring impact of her choices. It also allows Rose to delve deeper into the character of Sarah, revealing new facets of personality and challenging the reader's perception of her. The investigation is spearheaded by former Deputy Hudson, who is now a sheriff, and his new deputy, Pam Olson. Hudson, who was always suspicious of Adam's guilt, is relentless in his pursuit of the truth. He's a more nuanced and sympathetic character in this installment, driven by a desire for justice rather than personal vendetta. Olson provides a fresh perspective, her sharp instincts and modern investigative techniques complementing Hudson's experience. Their dynamic adds a compelling layer to the narrative, providing a counterpoint to the increasingly toxic relationship between Sarah and Bob. The divorce is a battleground. The divorce between Sarah and Bob is far from amicable. It quickly escalates into a bitter and vicious battle characterized by accusations, threats, a desperate struggle for control. Both Sarah and Bob are flawed individuals, and Rose does not shy away from portraying the ugliness that can emerge when a marriage disintegrates. The custody of their daughter, Summer, comes a central point of contention, with both parents willing stoop to extreme measures to gain the upper hand. As the divorce proceedings intensify, Bob's one-night stand, Stacey Howard, disappears, further complicating matters. Bob becomes a prime suspect, and Sarah finds herself once again entangled in a murder investigation, this time with her soon-to-be ex-husband as the potential perpetrator. The missing person case adds another layer of suspense to the narrative, raising the stakes and blurring the lines between the investigations. Unreliable narrators and shifting allegiance is one of Rose's strengths. As a thriller writer is her ability to create unreliable narrators. In The Perfect Divorce, the story is primarily told from the perspectives of Sarah, Bob, and Sheriff Hudson. Each character has their own agenda, their own secrets, and their own version of the truth. This narrative structure keeps the reader constantly guessing, forcing them to question the motives and actions of everyone involved. Sarah, in particular, is a fascinating and complex character. She's intelligent, resourceful, and fiercely protective of her daughter, but she's also capable of manipulation, deception, and even violence. Her past as the defense attorney has honed her in navigating the legal system and exploiting its loopholes, and she's not afraid to use those skills to her advantage. Bob, initially presented as a more stable and reliable character than Adam, gradually reveals his own dark side. He's shown to be selfish, entitled, and capable of cruelty. This gradual unveiling of his true nature adds a chilling dimension to the narrative. Themes of trust, betrayal, and justice. The Perfect Divorce explores several key themes, including the fragility of trust, the devastating consequences of betrayal, and the elusive nature of justice. The novel suggests that even in seemingly stable relationships, hidden resentments and unresolved issues can fester beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt. It also questions whether true justice is ever possible, particularly when individuals are involved and when the truth is obscured by layers of lies and deception. The theme of betrayal is central to the narrative. Sarah is betrayed by Bob's infidelity, which shatters her carefully constructed image of their marriage. Both Sarah and Bob betray each other's trust as their divorce becomes increasingly acrimonious. The reopening of Adam's case also raises questions about whether justice was served in the past and whether the truth was ever fully uncovered. A satisfying, if complex, sequel, The Perfect Divorce, is a worthy sequel to The Perfect Marriage. It delivers the same level of suspense, intrigue, and unexpected twists that fans of Rose's work have come to expect. While the plot is undeniably complex with multiple threads and a large cast of characters, Rose manages to keep the reader engaged and invested throughout. The novel's strengths lie in its well-developed characters, its intricate plot, and the exploration of dark and complex themes. Sarah Morgan remains a compelling and enigmatic protagonist, and the new characters, such as Sheriff Hudson and Deputy Olson, add depth and nuance to the narrative. However, the novel is not without its flaws. Some readers may find the sheer number of plot twists and revelations to be overwhelming, and the ending, while satisfying in some ways, may not provide the same level of shocking resolution as its predecessor. Additionally, the pacing, while generally brisk, occasionally slows down as Rose delves into the intricacies of the various investigations and the personal dramas of the characters. Conclusion: despite these minor shortcomings, The Perfect Divorce is a highly entertaining and suspenseful thriller that will keep readers on the edge of their seats until the very end. Jeneva Rose has once again demonstrated her skill at crafting intricate plots, creating compelling characters, and exploring the darker aspects of human nature. The sequel not only ties up loose ends from The Perfect Marriage, but also opens up new possibilities, future installments leaving readers eager to see what twists and turns Rose has in store for Sarah Morgan next. For fans of domestic thrillers, legal dramas, and suspenseful mysteries, The Perfect Divorce is a must-read. It's a dark, twisty, and thoroughly addictive read that will leave you questioning the nature of truth, justice, and the lengths to which people will go to protect their secrets.